Idiot!
He should have used a bigger fire. A man in California learned the hard way that there are way less destructive methods to purge your house of 8-legged crawlers. The man had been house-sitting his parents' Fresno place when he discovered venomous black widow spiders on the outside brick. Instead of going with bug spray, Einstein got a blowtorch to exterminate the arachnids, but ended up setting the house on fire too. Apparently, the flames went through a small crack in the bricks and lit up the flammable material inside, which then shot fire straight up to the attic. 29 firefighters thankfully managed to contain the blaze, but the inferno still dropped $10,000 worth of damage to the attic and second story. Ouch. Next time, just pick up a can of Raid like a normal human. That, or just leave the spiders alone. Idiots are an infinite resource.
Parenting fail. An ordinary day at a museum in the UK went horribly wrong when a family's failed photo op damaged an 800-year-old coffin. According to the BBC, on August 4th, a family was visiting Pretty-Well Priory Museum in Southend-on-Sea. Hoping to snap a morbid photo, the parents reportedly reached over an exhibit barrier to put their child inside an 800-year-old ancient sandstone coffin. You know this isn't gonna end well. Here's some quick facts about the stone coffin. It was found on the grounds of the monk's residence in 1921 and has been displayed at the Pretty-Well Priory Museum ever since. It used to contain a skeleton that the museum says could have belonged to a senior monk, so arguably it's a valuable artifact. Well, in the process of picture taking, the offending family managed to knock a chunk off of the sarcophagus. Fantastic. They didn't say a word and fled the scene, but were caught on the museum's surveillance cameras. In response to the photo op incident, Pretty-Well Priory Museum's conservator Claire Reed said the staff was shocked and upset, but added that the damage was repairable. The museum said they didn't expect people to actually get into the artifacts, and they plan to completely enclose the stone coffin in the future.
Common sense. What's that? A very expensive submarine in India has been out of commission for at least 10 months, all because someone in the damn Navy forgot basic training. The INS Arihant is the country's first nuclear-powered submarine. It's equipped with torpedoes and ballistic missiles and cost a whopping $2.9 billion. Back in February, some genius left an external hatch open while the sub was at harbor, inevitably causing seawater to pour in once it dove underwater. The vessel's entire propulsion chamber got flooded as a result of the human error and led to severe damage. Water had to be pumped out of the submarine and the pipes replaced since they were exposed to corrosive seawater. The Navy at least knows not to risk using damaged pipes to supply pressurized coolant to a nuclear reactor. If only they can improve basic training.
Not everyone's cut out for a leap of faith. A 21-year-old Californian was too busy heeding his spiritual calling to care that jumping off one of the tallest waterfalls in Hawaii is both dangerous and illegal. Daredevil Shiloh Shahan was at the top of Wailua Falls when he got it into his head that he just had to jump. YOLO, you know? It was against the rules to even be there, but Shahan made the leap anyway because rules schmools. After plummeting nearly 200 feet, he hit the water feet first and was knocked unconscious. He probably would have had an even more spiritual journey if not for some tourists. A father and daughter dragged him back to shore where he quickly regained his wits. Shahan suffered a slight concussion and some torn muscles. Despite losing his memory for all of 5 minutes, he's still his senseless, idiotic self. Netizens have been ragging on him after the jump was posted to YouTube, but the millennial contends he was expressing his freedom and that it was the right thing to do. Grow up, kid.
That's a shame. Apparently some Chinese tourists thought it was a great idea to ignore barriers imposed by a park and jump into a sea of flowers to take selfies. Photos published by Chinese media outlets shows the tourists entering the area to sit and lie down for photos, flattening the grass while doing so. A woman surnamed Zheng, reportedly a caretaker of the park, said it broke her heart when she saw the tourists destroying the grass just for a few selfies. According to the South China Morning Post, her voice turned hoarse from yelling at the ill-mannered tourists. She told local reporters she felt like her child was being bullied, but she couldn't do anything to stop it. She added that the rare pink grass was imported from Australia and it took 3 years for them to tend it. However, it only took 2 weeks for the selfie-seeking tourist to destroy the pretty pink grass, which typically is able to last for at least 2 months. She said even though the pictures the tourists took must be very pretty, they have ugly behavior. Jung added they were left with no choice but to cut the grass down in order to ensure the pink grass has a chance to bloom again next year, at which point we hope this doesn't happen again.
Chinese guy rides a horse to generate buzz, ends up falling. So you thought horseback riding meant a leisurely ride by the sea. Well, apparently not in China, where this young daredevil decided to go for a death race on the streets of Laiyuan. He actually demonstrated some pretty convincing skills, cutting the flow of cars, Fast and Furious style. However, his glorious ride didn't last too long. A few hundred meters further, he was found lying on the floor, looking severely hurt and missing his shoes. Amazingly, he got away with a mere broken arm. The crazy stuntman later explained that he had been inspired by internet videos and that he did this only to generate buzz. Well, in that case, he was more than successful.